Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tax Tip Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome into my office. It is Tax Tip Thursday. It has been a really, really good tax season. It is super duper busy. And I'm glad you're here to join me today. I am glad because we are nearly, I say nearly a month away from the end of tax season as most people know it. So, season, as most people know it, happens, of course, starting in January, mainly at the end of January, mid February, where individuals are receiving their income information statements. Those are their W-2s, their 1099s, their 1098s, their K-1s, and any income information statement you may receive from your healthcare provider, a 1095, and or bank statements, the 1099 INTs. And those different statements are used to help your tax preparer prepare your taxes. And it may be a little bit confusing, it may be unfamiliar to you, but your tax person needs really all of those forms. And one tip I want to give to individuals, this is just something, it's just a treasure, something I'm pulling out of the treasury, is if you're going with a new tax person this season, I advise you to create an online account with the IRS. It will make it so much easier with the new engagement with the tax preparer. So that way the tax preparer has all of the information that they need to get started. You give them, you sign up and sign on. Go through the ID Me process and get your free IRS account. Don't be afraid if you owe the IRS that it's gonna trigger something if you log into the account, that they're gonna realize you're there and start to send you letters. That's not going to happen, but you should in fact create the account. The IRS already knows who you are because you were stamped with a social security number that tied you to the IRS when you were born or when you immigrated here to the US. You have a social security number or some kind of tax ID number that they stamp on your behind, proverbially. And so it's like a barcode, and the IRS already knows who you are. So signing on, creating an account is not going to trigger the IRS, but I do advise that you sign up, get an account, and download your tax transcripts, wage and income statements, and any letters that you've received from the IRS, and hand that to the tax preparer. If you're not an individual that's not comfortable using the free tax software that's out there, anywhere from Free Tax USA to TurboTax that says, download your taxes and sit back and basically allow them to do it. Or any free tax software that you do, that you have. Even if you are doing your own taxes, go to the IRS's website. You need to know the information that they have on you so you can make sure you're filing and completing and inputting all of the information that's out there as it relates to any type of income that you received in the tax year that you're filing for. And in this case, this is tax year 2022 that you're filing during the 2023 tax season. So that's one of my tips for today. And to my business entities that identify as S Corp and partnerships, your tax deadline is next week. The tax deadline is March the 15th. It's not April the 15th. If you have an entity and you weren't aware that your partnership, your LLC that you designated by way of the IRS as an S Corp, your taxes are due next week. And if you're not intending to file the taxes next week, I advise you to get with a tax professional and request an extension. There will be a nominal fee, I'm sure, that Tax Pro will require to do the extension for you. But if you already have an accounting program set up, or you already have an accounting plan, an accountant that you're working with, a CPA or a bookkeeper, I'm sure they've advised you. But in case they have not, in case you're still winging it and doing your own taxes, your tax deadline is March the 15th. Partnerships and S Corps, I am talking to you. And to those of you who have yet to compile your paperwork and get your paperwork together, take the tip number one, which was to set up an online account and take a look and see what the IRS has on you in terms of your wage and income transcript, your tax transcript, wage and income statement, your tax transcript. And you can do that for the current year. You can do it if you're have back taxes that are due. Sign up, sign on, sign up. And the third tip for today, I advise you to make sure you are prepared to file your taxes if you're just a regular income individual earner, or if you're you have a corporation, a C corp, and or you're a single member LLC sole proprietor. Your tax deadline for 2023 is still April the 18th. And I advise you to file on time, file timely returns, be in compliance, file timely returns. It reduces your chances for an audit. I'm not saying you won't be audited, but it does reduce the chance that you will be audited this year or next year or any previous years. Oh, and then here's a bonus for anybody that's still, indecisive, and you are a business and you had W-2 wage earners, employees that received a W-2, not a 1099. You received during the COVID pandemic, if you still employed these individuals, you are still eligible for the earned income tax. I'm sorry, for the employee retention credit. You are still eligible for ERC, ERTC. It has two different paraphrases or whatever that we use for this employee retention tax credit, or in just employee retention credit. You are still eligible. However, if you file timely returns for your 2021 during the 2021 and 2020 tax season, your deadline is coming up. Your deadline is really April the 15th to get that employee retention credit if you want to get it for that particular tax time. If you file just returns timely, you want to make sure that you go ahead, because I think the deadline was 3 years, because this is an amended return and you have 3 years. So that's just a bonus. No, you didn't ask for it, but I'm giving it to you. And that's it. For anybody that has any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm available via my social, Instagram, ATL Tax Queen. I am ATL Tax Queen .com for you to send in any questions that you may have. If you're viewing this, I'm broadcasting in quite a few places, not as many places as I broadcasted on Monday, but for today I am broadcasting in three different platforms. So don't hesitate to DM me with any questions. You can always call my office, 1-877-983-8838. And that is 1-877-983-8838. And if it will help, that is 1-877-YVETTE8. 1-877-YVETTE8. And that number 8 is for new beginnings. I would love for you to engage with my financial services company. Engage with me for taxes at www.atltaxqueen.com. I am signing off.